That's dope, bro.
All right. Well, shit, dude, let's get things started. Sith, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. Welcome to Eman's new comic book picks for May 19th, 2021. Dude, welcome to the show, Sith. I really appreciate you coming through, man.
Yo, man, I appreciate it. It's awesome being here. You guys are doing great things over here. I enjoyed the pre-show conversation, and we're going to carry it on into this show right now.
That's exactly how it goes. A little pre-show, and then we carry it right into the show. And then this is where you get a little bit of my radio voice here, right here.
All right. A first-time caller, long-time listener.
Yeah, exactly. Man, well, let's get things started, man. So we're talking new comic book picks for May 19, 2021, and I looked at previews. I looked at Legion of Geek. There is a whole lot of comic books coming out that week. So, Sith, you know what? I think you and I need to get started with the one book I told you. Dude, snap. We agree on a book. Let's talk about Stray Dogs #4. Man,
man.
Those first three. This is a book that just keeps getting better and better, in my opinion.
I had some advance warning, man, because I told you before I got to sit in on an interview with artist Trish Forstner, and she warned me. She said some tears are coming, and so I had some time to brace. And man, that last issue was heavy, wasn't it?
It was so heavy. I was reading it, and then at the end of the book, just gasp. My girlfriend turns to me as I read it. She's like, dude, quit being so extra. Then she read it and she's like, oh no, shit, I understand.
Yeah. And Lady Sith is all about, Stray Dogs as well. And when I told her, she was like, I'm not going to read it. Your summary is enough for me, because that would really get her. You know what I mean? So it's like she's read all the other issues, but she doesn't want to see what happened to, like what happened then.
It was definitely heartbreaking. It's a trip. What I like is how well they're setting up the Master on how you hate him, but then that hatred towards the Master continuously grows issue per issue. And that's why I'm looking forward to issue #4, because they're setting it up, and Trish is doing Tony Fleecs is doing a fantastic job in writing and getting to that buildup of what's happening in the story. I fell in love with this book the first time I read it. It really did. And so now #4, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And how about all those variant covers, man? Those homages, right? Poltergeist, Annabelle. I can't wait for the Friday the 13th homage. That's gonna be sick.
I'm telling myself I'm not collecting any more variants. I have a big thing happening later on this year. And then I was like, oh crap, well there's some variants I'm gonna need to collect. And yes, it is Stray Dogs, the variants that I have to get. All of those horror movie homages are amazing. Like,
definitely.
Anyone who grew up in the 80s and 90s would have to love these books. Let me read the synopsis of Stray Dogs #4, written by Tony Fleecs, artist Trish Forstner. Time is running out. Hackles are raised, tensions are high, and nobody's had a thing to eat. When the Master's away, the dogs will drag everything awful into the light. And then the awful truth is, nobody's coming to set them free.
Oh no.
Ooh.
And there's the Master of Voices, man. I watched you on your recent interview with Brandon, and you were doing some sort of a voice for that the Gallows Man. Can we get a little bit of that?
Oh, Gallows Man.
Yeah, that was dope, bro. I looked up from the computer when I was typing. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing that now.
So that's a completely separate show. That's going to be Red's baby right there, which we are going to call the C-List Villains Present Indie Creators Corner. And we're going to bring up ultra indie books on that show right there. And Red was like, I need you to jump on board with me. I'm like, what? He goes, we're gonna read a page, but I need you to do voices. I was like, oh, okay, I'll bite. I'll help you out. So
that was genius, man. Watch, somebody's gonna discover you guys' talent and turn you into like a Netflix show or something.
You know what? Getting discovered would be awesome, but I have, everyday work and kids that I need to worry about. If it comes groovy, I can't chase it though. But yeah, getting back to the book, man, I nobody's gonna set the dogs free, or at least there's zero hope, and that's what they're setting up, man. I can't wait.
So you're saying there's no "who let the dogs out" moment, right?
Woo, 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 who let the dogs? You know what? I bet you. Look, if we do, if we get to that page, you have to sing. You have to tell me what page your brain went to and started singing that song when this thing concludes, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and we didn't even practice that, man. That was a perfect setup, right?
Perfect setup and the spike.
There you go.
Bam. Well, let's get into the number 2 pick tonight, Sith. I'm going to let you take care of this one. What is your number 2 pick for New Comic Book Day, May 19?
It's going to be The Girl Who Electrified Tesla, the next issue, right? Number 2. But I just have to show this cover because, I mean, look at it, right? I didn't know anything else about this book except these covers. And when I cracked it open, it was a fantastic read. You basically have like a female detective, kind of a noir vibe, and you have Tesla, and he's like obsessing about pigeons. So I was like, this is like an interesting mix of stuff, right? And so issue 1 was fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do for issue 2. I'm really looking forward to it. I
wanted to pick it up. Unfortunately, the LCS that I go to didn't get this book, so I have to go around hunting for it. And honestly, by the time I got around to being able to hunt at my other shops, I completely forgot about this book. But you mentioned it, you put it back on my radar. I have to go hunt for number 1 now, because the premise of the book does sound super interesting. And apparently a lot of the historical facts in the book are true. Like the writer is Cynthia Von Bueller. She's done her research. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean, there was some historical, narratives around that. It was interesting. There's a former president whose uncle is notable for being involved with Tesla in kind of going through his artifacts and things like that after his passing. And although that doesn't occur in issue 1, that uncle appears in the comic. So they didn't shy away from history. It's interesting.
That's pretty awesome. I like it. I'm going to go find it. Let me read the premise right here, or the synopsis right here of it's Minky Woodcock number 2, something about Tesla. I didn't write the whole thing down. I messed up there. But it is written and drawn by Cynthia Von Bueller. Titan best-selling hard case crime series is back. A stylish and glamorous feminist takes on a classic gumshoe.
Oh, we got Sean Connery here.
Private investigator Minky Woodcock becomes involved in an investigation of maverick genius and reclusive pigeon fancier Nikola Tesla, and discovers a horrifying conspiracy involving corrupt politicians and Nazis.
Pretty good. Now all you need is like a smoking jacket, a pipe, to complete the whole picture.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Man, you got a lot of talents here, bro.
Thank you, sir.
You're gonna come useful. You're gonna be useful in like the apocalypse. They'll be like, can you build a house? Can you fix a car? Oh, you do voices.
Keep us entertained while the other people outside are dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, honestly, Minky Woodcock, this Nikola Tesla story, it sounded super interesting to me, and then this one right here, it sounds like it's diving deeper into the story. I want to know more about it. I need to go find number 1. Let me ask you this. I don't do this, but rate the first book for me from 1 to 5. How many Sith Lords would you give that one?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4. It's still a solid read.
I know. I would give it a 5 if there was like a lot of adult content, because that's kind of what I like out of these indie books. They kind of touch the edge of it, because some of these indie books, man, they're just ripping faces off and saying foul mouth things, and ladies in the shower. So it's kind of like but it was really good.
It's fun to see what top-notch writers can do when they're not within the Marvel or DC bubble, within those rules. This is the time for them to break rules, or not even be within rules, and just go off and shine. And these indie books are amazing. I'm with you. I'm mostly an indie collector myself.
Yeah, as far as modern books go, I mean, it's like a 90% indie for me.
Yeah. Exactly. I am the same way. Well, let me get into my number 2 pick, because this number 2 pick is also an indie book. This one goes to Phantom of the Scan.
Yeah.
Number 2, written by Cullen Bunn, arts by Mark Torres. It sounds like you read the first one.
I did, man.
What did you think of the first book? Because I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it came in with a lot of heat, you know what I mean? So high expectations. It delivered for me. You know, I think it was like kind of setting up for what issue 2 is going to do, right? You got the guy without spoilers, right? You know, he's got his situation, and there's other people in the same situation, and he's, you know, gathered them together. So we'll see what happens.
Let's get into the synopsis, because it kind of spoils a little bit of number 1. Spoiler alert, just letting you guys know that right now. A group of frightened psychics gather to learn how and why their gifts are killing them. What is the mystery that binds them together? What is the source of their powers? And how is the clandestine Trellix Institute involved? As they pursue the answers to these questions, they discover that they're also being stalked by human killers with powers of their own. This sounds crazy. This sounds almost like a horror X-Men vibe, is what I'm getting reading off the synopsis and reading number 1. I like the whole psychic power element and what it's doing to these people who have the power, who don't know how to use it. So Aftershock, man, they're coming out with bangers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They are coming out with bangers. Aftershock their stock is growing.
Did you just watch my new comic book day video? Because I was shouting out Aftershock left and right. You know, they're a publisher who interacts. Yes. Not only do they interact, but, you know, they got the YouTube channel. They're always shouting people out in there. I love Aftershock. The books are dope. Obviously, the content's got to be good, because if they're, you know, a great publisher but books aren't good, you know, then we just pat them on the back and say, hey, thanks for being nice. But, you know, they're all about the community and top-notch books.
Follow Aftershocks, you guys. They're a fantastic, if you're not already, follow them. They're a fantastic publisher. I love them. Sounds like Sith loves them. Look, that's 2 right there. You guys got to go out there and follow that right there.
You got it. I mean, talking about Nuclear Family, you're talking about Shadow Doctor, right? I mean, a lot of great titles, right? Silver City just came out today. Can't wait to read it. Maniac of New York.
Picked up Silver City, yeah.
Ruth Ann Thompson over there.
Right? I follow Ruth Ann Thompson, and she's awesome. Man, we can't wait to see what's going on with more of their books. We Live is probably like one of my absolute favorite books that has come out in the last year, and that's under Aftershock. You know, so I can't wait. Follow them. Good stuff.
I gotta tell you a funny story real quick about We Live. I had 2 copies of number 1, right? And you know it's been heating up.
Yeah.
But I sent one to my buddy as an AOK to Sparks Comics, and I forgot what I sent him, because when We Live started heating up, I started going through all my short boxes. Where's that second copy? Where's that second copy? And then I hit up Sparks. I'm like, yo, did I send you We Live number 1 as an AOK? He's like, yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
You're such a good friend, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome.
I was like, well, thanks, because I was about to tear into my 20 other short boxes, but now I know where it is.
Hey, look, it's safe. You know, it's safe. Isn't someone? I have one hanging on my wall right here.
Oh, nice.
I probably should take it down. I don't think you deserve better. You do deserve better. All right. Well, let's get into your number 3 book. I think it's number 3. Yes, we're on number 3. So what's your third book for May 19th, my friend?
Yep, we're gonna go with the autumnal, and I just got to flash the previous copy, right, on Vault Comics. Shout out to the Comics Hall on Sideshow's YouTube channel for putting me on this title at issue 1. As my man Azor's Tiger says, you know, just damn leaves, right? Because, you know, you're gonna read the synopsis, but you know, there's a nature element, and it keeps messing up this mother and daughter. But Azor's like, yo, you know, just, you know, pick up the leaves, do some gardening, and stop the problem.
I have like 3 issues, 3 variants, and cover A of autumnal number 1. I didn't flip through it yet. I haven't.
Oh, it's great.
And I know I should, because I like Vault Comics also. They have Shadow Service under Vault Comics, and I'm really liking it. That book is weird because it goes up and down. Like, it's kind of like, it's good, and it, like 2 issues it drops, and then it just gets really good. I'm like, oh man, dude, like,
I just got issue 1, so it's good to hear your opinion.
Look at that, both of us.
Okay.
I have issue 1 of Autumn Nolan. You have issue 1 of Shadows.
With the reverse, man.
Yeah, with the reverse. Pick it up. It's a good one. It's a good one. But yeah, let me read the synopsis for Autumn Nolan number 7. And it's so hard for me to pronounce this word too, so I have to think about it. The Autumnal Society has found its sapling. As Cat and Sybil are led into the town's darkest, hungriest belly, gruesome truths are revealed that append everything we knew about Comfort Notch. So if you're a reader of this, I'm hoping you understand what that means. I don't know what that means. It sounds like things are starting to get really crazy over there. Is that right?
You must be reading League of Comic Geeks, because right before this, I was reading that up there too.
So, just for everyone out there, I do take the synopsis from the books and I do paste them over here on a nice little sticky, so that way I have something to read.
Nice.
But that's what everyone does. That's how you introduce the book, right?
It helps me with my indie picks, and spine ticks.
Exactly.
I need that synopsis.
Yes, it helps. It helps a whole lot. So you're 7 issues in. I mean, like how's the story? How's the buildup without any kind of spoiler? Like how is the ride for this book?
It's very organic, right? It kind of started out started setting up, and then like around issue 5, it really like the hair raises on your arms. It really like ramps up to the next level, and you're like, oh damn, okay, that's new in this book to take that kind of tone. So it's really getting edgy, and the last issue was like really leading up to something. So we're gonna see what happens.
Gotcha. All right. Without spoiling too much, it sounds like it's an edgy book. Just go out there and pick that one up. Sith says it's good. You should go get it. You
got the Sith stamp of approval, man.
Boom. Just like that. Well, let me get into my third and my final pick for New Comic Book Day, May 19, 2021. This is going to rising superstar writer Ram V. And he's got a couple of books out there, but I'm gonna take my favorite one out of his books right now, and that is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr.
Yep.
I enjoyed the first book. What's great about the first book is that it was set in Mumbai, but the way it was placed, it could have been set anywhere.
That's true. I
like the comedic element of Layla Starr. It's funny, because Death walks into the office. Death, I'm thinking like, Death is in a cloak and is this cloudy, shadowy thing. No, she's just like 8-armed, being up in the offices. Boss calls her in. Hey, come on in, have a seat. Let's have a chit chat. By the way, you're fired. And I'm like, how do you fire Death?
That's right.
How does that happen? But by the end of the first book, you're like, oh, so there is an important story happening, and Layla is pretty much, well, Death, who's in Layla's body, is pretty much now in charge of preventing someone from creating something that's going to pretty much eliminate her job for real. Now remember, she's Death. Someone's going to eliminate that job. It's a really fun setup. Did you read the first one?
I did, man. And it was like in a stack of 20 other issues. So, the refresher was great. And of course, I bought like every cover, including the foil. Remember the foil?
Of course. Did you get the virgin foil?
I did. No, I did not get. Maybe I did. You know how it is when you got a stack like this big and you're like, well, did I get that one?
Yeah, I'll take that one too. That's fine. I know. I'll go through my comics like on Wednesday and be like, do I want, screw it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take all 9 covers of Geiger.
All I need to know is, where's my second copy of We Live 1?
Because that's the important one right there. Right. Let me read on this book right here. Writer Ram V, artist Felipe Andrade. The avatar of Death now exists in the mortal world as 20-something Layla Starr, after humanity begins the path to discovering immortality. That's why she was fired. Now, years have passed, and Layla unexpectedly meets the boy who will change everything at one of the formative moments in his life. Layla must decide what she truly wants from him and how far these revelations will push her. It sounds like there's a moral story behind this also. It's kind of, it's okay. The best, okay.
Tell us how you feel.
I'm gonna say it like this. Yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. If you can go back in time and you meet Hitler as a baby, what do you do?
Oh, I remember this, right?
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. I don't want anyone to answer it. Sith, don't answer it. But just let that sink in your head. If you can go back in time and change something that pretty much made a huge change in the world, would you? What would you do? How would you navigate that? And I think that's the story behind Death in Layla Starr's Avatar. I find this very interesting. Very, very interesting.
What if you could go back in time and buy one comic book? Would it be Amazing Fantasy 15?
Action Comics #1.
Okay.
You have to do
Pick
action.
up the car.
Yeah, you have to do action And I've thought about that. Would I go back in time and get it brand new, crispy and clean, bring it back here and get it submitted? Because CGC is not going to believe this can't be a 9/8.
Is that a facsimile?
This got to be some kind of facsimile. Hold on, let me look around. And it's like, at what point do you actually submit a book like that? Like how? And then how can you prove it? It's one of those things where it's like, how would someone package that book in 1930 to keep it crispy and clean? Like, what was the technology? Did they even have Ziploc bags back then? Like, is it possible?
I like how you asked the esoteric question of Hitler and all, and we're all like comic book collectors. We're like Action Comics, Amazing Fantasy.
but that's the kind of situation Layla Starr's in right now. She's got that opportunity to make big changes. What do you do? I'm excited for almost any Boom property that comes out. Aftershock, Vault, Behemoth. All these indie comics are actually bringing out solid reads. Rom V. Ross Ritchie found a hitter with The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, in my opinion. I can't wait.
Yep, bad idea.
Yeah. I have my reservations about Bad Idea's business practices. Nothing too bad. Nothing like, ugh. But, it's kind of like, all right, come on, guys. A little too far with some of these things that you're doing. Like putting people on blast on Instagram.
Another retailer has been banned.
Exactly. Like, you don't need to do that, man. Like, you're just do what you do and don't announce all the negative stuff. Just talk positive. That's all I want to hear. And I think that's what's I don't want to talk bad about Bad Idea, but I think that's the bad part right there. Is I don't want to hear the bad stuff. Give me the good stuff. Give me the good
idea.
Give me the good idea. Exactly.
Have you had a chance to read Tankers or ENIAC?
I've read ENIAC. I have not read Tankers, and I haven't read Whalesville yet. I have them nice.
I read all three.
Nice and pretty. Okay. Should we read them? I know we're collectors here, but should we read them?
I will tell you that Tankers is probably tied with ENIAC and Stray Dogs as my favorite reads of the year.
Okay, I have 3 copies of Tankers upstairs. I'll go ahead and bust one out and use that as my reader. I'll do that. I'm talking. Bad Idea. I have 3 copies that I bought from 3 different shops, so you cannot ban them.
Dedication. Yeah, I mean, Tankers, you're talking about like Back to the Future and dinosaurs and aliens. It's great.
I brought this up for people who know in the Valiant days. This sounds very much like Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, interesting. I never read it, but people always bring up Turok.
Okay.
Turok number 1. Get that book.
So and then on top of that, Dinesh is one of the guys who did Valiant back in the day. So okay, there's a correlation, you guys. There's a mixture right there.
Yeah, Tankers. I can't say enough good things about that book. So.
Well, then you know what? I'm gonna wait for number 2. I'm gonna bust it open. I'll read number 1 tonight, and then I'll let you know. Offline. I'll let you know, Sid. Nice. Well, man, hey Sid, thank you so much for hanging out with me on the show tonight. I totally appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Let people know how they can get a hold of you. Go ahead and plug your socials right there.
Yeah, best place is at Sith Lordly on Instagram. I mean, I live on Instagram. Happen to do a little YouTube show called Spine Ticks. With my main man Azor's Tiger. We got like 8 people on that show. So if you go to YouTube, spine ticks. In fact, we're doing a 750 subscriber giveaway this Saturday, so it's a chance to win a lot of free stuff. We're just thankful to the community. We like organic subs, right? We want people to sub up who actually like the channel, like the content. Wherever we go with the numbers, it's all just fun. But this Saturday we're giving back, so hit us up there. But Sith Lordly on Instagram is a place to be, and I run my own little YouTube channel. It's just Sith Lordly on YouTube, where I do like comic book hauls and things that we can't fit into the Spine Tick show.
Nice.
And we're gonna have to get you on there, bro.
Oh man, I would love to be on there. You guys let me know. Let me know what needs to happen. Let me know what the secret code and the handshake.
You're in, bro. We already bonded, man.
Thanks,
but you have to do the voice. Can't break character the entire show. It's got to be that gallows man.
I'll work on it. How about that? I'll work on it. And then remember, you guys, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. New episodes do come out every Saturday on iTunes, Spotify, and your favorite podcast app. We also have a YouTube channel. Go follow us there. That we have our interviews on that channel right there. We've had interviews with Ross Ritchie, with Ariel Diaz, Aaron Bartley, all the good people. It's constantly growing, you guys. So follow us. Come and hang out with us, all right? And before I let you go, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Like this video. Do all the things to help me grow this channel as well. Because if it's not for you, I wouldn't be doing this right here, my friends. All right. To everyone out there, thanks for hanging out. Until the next issue, deuces.